Hello Foggies, and welcome to episode 18 of the Foggy Author. If we haven't met before, I'm Brett Jackson, and this is Hoggy, my trusty pig-shaped timer. And together we write books through the haze of brain fog. Today we've got an extra special show. There are writing life updates, a chance for another game of fantasy or sci-fi, more great book recommendations, and the rest of the show is all about the legend that is Hoggy, as we dive into some facts, lore and legend about my pink friend that you likely never knew. Oh, and a little bit about why timers are a really great tool for productivity as a writer. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's step through the haze together. We'll start this week's episode with the fog log. You may have noticed the weather getting chillier and a bit wetter as we edge closer to Christmas. But Hoggy and I are still out and about, exploring all sorts of fun spots for writing. In fact, Hoggy was so inspired that he's actually asked me to create a special episode all about him, and you can check it out in today's featured article. Now, here's a quick writing update. This week I had a little hiccup. I had to backtrack a bit on my manuscript after a botched data sync gobbled up some of my files, but no worries, everything's fixed and I'm happily back on track. I'm now 12% into the final edit for Time Clones Book 2, and it feels great to be moving forward again. On the health front, I had a minor bump, literally, when I got stung on a nerve in my neck. It left me feeling a bit out of sorts, but thankfully the swelling has gone down. A bit of rest, some antihistamines and a touch of painkillers got me through the day, and now I'm feeling much better. Outside the writing zone, life has been full of fun moments. My wife and I enjoyed a lovely date night with a tasty meal and a relaxing evening watching The Traitors. We also spent wonderful time with family at a local fair. It was a total blast. It's such a joy to see my nephews growing up and having a great time together. A little garden story. One of my nephews claimed he wouldn't touch any of our apples because he only likes Pink Lady variety. But after tasting one of ours, his mind completely changed. He loved them so much that he picked a bunch more and even stuffed his pockets to take some home for his friends. And just like that, an up and down week ends on a high note, filled with writing, laughter, family and delicious apples. And now it's time for another game of fantasy or sci-fi. If you're new here, welcome to Fantasy or Sci-Fi. It's simple, I read 10 character names and you guess the genre. But before I do that, here are the answers from last week's Fantasy or Sci-Fi. And now for this week's list. Number 1, Worf, fantasy or sci-fi. Number 2, Scarlet Spider. Number 3, Kara Zor-El. Number 4, Gildor Inglorion. Number 5, Lady Galadrielle. Number 6, Fenris. Number 7, Black Panther. Number 8, Miles Morales. Number 9, Morgause. Number 10, Iron Man. As usual, drop your guesses in the comments, just the number and your best guess. Good luck Foggies, I'll reveal the answers next week. Now let's move from fictional characters to published worlds, written by today's authors. This week's book of the week is Time Clones by yours truly, Brett Jackson. In the year 2038, trees are a protected species and books are licensed materials only available in specialised shops. When Zach Drummond discovers his long-lost journal, he notices it contains more than just his thoughts, but also the truth behind what really happened 30 years ago after the Hayworth Dam collapsed, killing his father and the townfolk of Kistowich. It leads him on a journey that will change the past, present and future, but someone else has a vested interest in keeping the truth buried. Will Zach find out the truth? What are the rules of time travel? And what happens when you break them? As usual, you can find this week's Book of the Week on Amazon. The link is in the description. And now, he's pink, he's a pig, he's plastic, he helps me beat procrastination, he doesn't tell porkies. This is the legend of Hoggy, my pink piggy productivity partner. He's my trusty pink pig-shaped clockwork timer. He's always there when I need him. He never needs batteries. He ticks loudly enough to remind me that I should be writing instead of making this video. And I've had him since the start of my writing career, which officially makes him my longest standing co-worker. Why Hoggy and why a pig, you ask? Oh, that's easy. I'm the Foggy Author. Foggy, Hoggy. It rhymes. It's almost as if this partnership was predestined, ordained by the writing gods and perhaps the clockwork pig manufacturers of the world. Hoggy's personality and quirks. Now, don't let Hoggy's innocent little smile fool you. When that bell rings, he means business. He has quirks. He squeaks when I wind him, like he's complaining about his workload. He has a scratch, a battle scar from the great desk fall of 2021. I panicked, he didn't. True hero! Hoggy isn't just a timer. He's a colleague, a coach, a tiny, judgmental productivity overlord. And little did I know, Hoggy has stories. He has secrets. He has lore. Yes, a clockwork pig with lore. You're welcome. Hoggy's adventures. Here's Hoggy at the cafe, silently judging my word count. Here he is outside, contemplating the meaning of time. Very philosophical for a pig. Here's Hoggy in the library. Supervising me like a tiny pink foreman. Here he is taking in some creativity and culture at the local theatre. And here he is on my desk, staring at me with that expression of, are we writing today or are we just sharpening pencils again? Observe the exclusive Hoggy in his natural habitat, quietly watching a writer procrastinate for the 47th minute in a row. Hoggy lore. There are legends about Hoggy. Yeah, I made them up, but still. So here are 10 legendary facts about Hoggy that you probably never knew. Some say if you wind him backwards, he'll squeal in disapproval. Some say he ticks so loudly that even clocks feel insecure. Others say he doesn't need winding because time is trying to keep up with him. I heard a rumour that he was banned from kitchens after intimidating every egg timer he encountered. Some say that he once completed National Novel Writing Month in one afternoon. Some believe he emits productivity waves. Science has not investigated this, but my word count is suspiciously higher when he's around. And if you ever hear Hoggy ticking at 3 AM when you didn't set him, run. Now we all know that every true hero has an enemy. Hoggy's is the snooze button. Their battles are fierce, their rivalry is eternal. Only one will lead me to productivity, and let's be honest, it's not the one that lets me just sleep for 5 more minutes. Once a year, I give Hoggy an employment review. Reliability. This year, I'm going to give him a 10 out of 10 for reliability. Emotional support, probably only 3 out of 10. Ability to scare me into working, 11 out of 10. Vengefulness when overwhelmed, debatable. He did request a raise once, and I had to gently remind him he's literally just a clockwork pig and doesn't get paid anyway. His reaction? Well, of course he just stared at me, feeling a bit wound up, but then he had a bit of a timeout, and now he's feeling much better. Alright, time for some actual writing wisdom. Writers use timers because they work. Writing sprints, for example. If I set Hoggy for 10 minutes, suddenly I'm typing like the words are on fire. The Pomodoro method. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. You can repeat that until your characters finally behave. Mini deadlines. A timer turns writing from a vague intention into a challenge. It adds urgency, it focuses your brain, and unlike using a phone, Hoggy never distracts me with notifications. Well, unless his bell counts as one, a very loud, startling one. And a tribute to Hoggy. The truth is, Hoggy has been with me through everything. Drafts, rewrites, blocks, breakthroughs, snacks, crises of confidence, more snacks. He's been my tiny ticking companion through the chaos of creativity. So here's to Hoggy, my piggy productive partner, my pink writing coach, my ticking nemesis, my tiny clockwork motivator. May he continue to tick, tock, squeak, and occasionally scare me into finishing chapters. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and drop your fantasy or sci-fi guesses in the comments. Until next time, keep writing through the haze of brain fog, and I'll see you again in the future.